the setbacks, you know, that we're proposing here are not due to the height of the turbine. I mean, the setbacks that we're proposing are just due to, you know, what we feel is necessary to reach acceptable sound levels from the turbines. That can occur whether that turbine is on a 95-meter hub height, a 100-meter hub height, or an 80-meter hub height. The modeled sound levels are a function of the sound emission.
Do you do a real world sound level?
The wind turbine
do you do
itself.
do you do a real world study on it, or do you do just models?
We run a model based on a real world study where the maximum sound levels from the turbine have been determined.
Do you do a study at the site, or is it just a study?
Just a hypothetical.
We do ambient monitoring before the project is built.
Do you do this
And then
independently, or is somebody you hired? Can our township go and hire our own independent and you guys use those? Our independent study and somebody that the township that you guys will pay for, that we independently, so that way we know that you guys don't manipulate the sound levels, just out of curiosity. If we go and put that, if we go and recommend that to our township board, that we bring in an independent acoustic one hired by the township board, not your own, and if we bring that person in, will you guys pay for him to go and take that study and use his study instead of the one that you guys bring in?
So, I mean, we're always going to do our own modeling analysis when we're siting the turbines. That's necessary for siting the turbines. As we look to within the project,
I'm talking about
we might
ambient
locate
noise
turbines.
studies.
I understand. As we look to where we're going to locate turbines in the project area, where we would desire to, we model those turbine locations with respect to houses, other public buildings, receptors, to verify that we meet our target sound levels. In terms of ambient noise monitoring, we do ambient noise monitoring before the project, and we use an independent consultant for that.
Is it
If
the same one that
township-
says 40 decibels in a library and his other studies are a quiet library, and you guys are saying it's going to be quieter in a library in a newspaper, which is 45 decibels. So what you're saying is you're going to use that same acoustic consultant, and he's going to keep the levels, because you guys say in there that 40 decibels is going to be, it's going to be quieter in a library than what the ad in the paper says, so you're going to keep it lower than 40 decibels maximum in this area, because that's what you guys state in the newspaper.
I think the ambient noise levels have nothing to do with what it says in the newspaper.
Well, then
The
why is it
ambient
saying
noise
it's a
levels
fact?
are what they are when we hire a qualified professional to go out and put together a measurement protocol and carry out the field monitoring campaign. The results are what they are. They have nothing to do with what's in the newspaper, what's in some other
So
document.
you're saying that that
They
isn't a
are
fact
as
from
measured.
Exelon? That what it said in your ad in the newspaper, you're saying that's not a fact?
I am not familiar with what you're talking about in the newspaper.
No, he's not saying that. He's saying the study is independent of what's in the newspaper.
Right, but it says it's going to be, the fact is that it's going to be quieter in the library, and Mr. Peter Goldberg, your guys' consultant that came in here just 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago into Riga, and he went, and what it basically said is, in 3 of his studies and all his comparison sound data charts say 40 decibel is a quiet is a library. And you guys are saying it'll be quieter than a library in your ad. And that is your consultant that you brought in here. So it's going to be lower than that, or is the ad just misinformation that you guys put out here? I got to know, because I'm trying to deal with this and try to come up with what's fair and equitable to everybody here. And when I go and read stuff in the newspaper and read your guys' sound study, and they don't coincide with your own fact sheet here, your newspaper says right here, the fact is the wind turbine at their maximum noise level will be quieter than a library. And this is my point to me. And here's 3 studies. Here's yours. Quiet library is 45 decibels. Wind turbine 45. All right? And this is what upsets me about the whole situation. These are studies from Tech Environmental, 3 of them, all done in 2009, and their decibel comparison chart here says an empty theater or library is 40. All these other decibel comparison charts, about 15 to 20 of them, all say between 40 and 30 decibels. So what's upsetting me here is that you guys, like I had stated in the acoustic thing, is are you guys just throwing this out here to tell people that it's better than what it really is?
Well, I think it's up to the committee and the township board to really understand what's being said by the developers and these documents, and to establish for our township what we feel is an acceptable sound level. Whether it's 45 or 40, and if there's to be, you know, the day split into two sections, nighttime and daytime, and have two different levels.
I have a problem with that, with two different levels, because here's the problem. Yeah, people might be at work and the traffic may be more on the week, but when you're out on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon on your day off, do you want it 45 decibels or 50 decibels or whatever? You want it at the same level you have it every day. You don't need it, because, I'm not home, but then I come home and it's a nice, beautiful Sunday morning, I go and put my shoes on, I'm gonna go out and mess around with my chickens or go out in the pond swimming and have family over or whatever, and do I want it to have 5 decibels louder than what it is at night? My own thoughts, but why should we do it? Isn't it easier to monitor if you keep it at the same level? It's easier to monitor if you go in step 1. My own feeling. I mean, that's my own feeling, and that's my feeling on it, and especially if it's 40 decibels, like the developers are offering in the newspaper.
Well, I think those are things that we should continue to discuss and consider. Back to my initial question, does Exelon currently have program managers or program team members up in the Thumb area?
We can check on what's available.
To see what information's available?
What Exelon could supply.
Because it'd be nice to be able to see like a siting map that shows where the locations of the turbines are. And then if there was, you know, whether it was to the Huron County or if there was any type of a tracking of recorded complaints. Just to see, you know, how close and what the situation might be, just so we have an understanding. Because, you know, part of the things that we want to do here is we want our township board to understand, you know, as the development, you know, progresses, this is what they might, you know, be experiencing within here too.
In
You know-
the report that we give you this evening is a contact email for Doug. And if you would have further questions like the one you have, if you could email them to Doug to
Okay,
get what you need, and if it's available, we'll take a look to see if it's available.
okay. I think I might have Doug's.
Yeah, well, it's here, but I could give it to you if you don't have it, but it's on the letter, the
Okay.
email address.
Yeah, very good. That would just help us, because I think it's information that would be, you know, good for our township board to understand. To go in and try to finish my commentary on this document, the next item is the documents take the position that sound pressure level shall not exceed 55 dBA measured at the property line or least unit boundary, whichever is farther from the source of the noise. Commentary addresses sleep disturbance in the following statement. Related to sleep disturbance, the World Health Organization notes that 80 to 90% of the reported cases of sleep disturbance in noisy environments are for the reasons other than noise originating outdoors. See if I can pronounce this. Habituation to nighttime noise events occurs. The document authors may not understand the environment where wind turbines are being installed. This is my commentary. I'm thinking that they don't really understand the environments that the wind turbines are going into. Why else would they reference World Health Organization information for noisy environments? I mean, Ogden is not a noisy environment. We're a rural environment. We don't have the noise of metropolitan areas, whether Lansing or Detroit. So I'm thinking that this document probably could have been better served if it would have referenced more to the types of environments that the turbines were really going into. Here again, I'm referencing Doug Dumering. He acknowledged in a township board meeting that the 55 decibel was too high for a quiet rural community like Ogden. And I think that in your new developments, I think that you're going to 45.
Well, that's
decibel
correct.
level.
To my knowledge, Exelon Wind has never looked at 55 dBA for a development. I mean, 50 dBA was previously commonly used in many ordinances, as you guys are aware from your research. And our noise consultant, has pointed out to us and that, most of the projects where there has been complaints, that you might find referenced in the literature, were designed for a 50 dBA sound limit. Whereas if they're designed for 45 dBA, those complaints haven't been there. So it's important to point out that over time there's been a lot of facilities at 50 dBA. That's where most of the complaints you hear about, read about, have come from, were facilities designed for 50. Whereas now, we're looking at designing facilities for 45 dBA, which results in, many fewer turbines per section, greater setbacks from houses, greater space between turbines and occupied structures, so.
That 45 dBA, is that an average or is that a maximum?
Well, that would be an LEQ level, a maximum LEQ level.
Of what? Is
during
it a
measurement.
90, or is it a 10, or is it a max?
It's a LEQ.
What is that?
It's not an L10 or an L90. It's the energy averaged sound level.
So it is an
over
average
that-
level,
over
it's
that
not a
period.
maximum, it'll never maximally go over 45 decibels, is what you're saying?
It's
Maximum?
energy averaged over, say you measure for 10 seconds. It's the average sound energy over that period, which has been found to correlate best with what you perceive to hear during that interval. You could report the L90, which is the lowest possible
No,
sound
L-max
that was
is
measured
lower.
during there. You could measure an L10, it's the highest.
But what about L-max? Are you willing to go to L-max?
Um,
Max, I mean, maximum 45, the ad in the newspaper also said it, its maximal power will never be higher than a wind turbine. And you guys claim 45 according to your guys' wind, but Goldberg says 40. So again, we go back to, it says the turbine will never, in the ad in the newspaper, the maximum level of the turbine will never be above 45 according to what you say, but Mr. Goldberg's reports are always saying 40. As a quiet library. I mean, I'm just going off what the newspaper says. I mean,
The
that's, you
45
guys.
45 dBA level we recommend would be an LEQ.
The max.
Would be
Max.
LEQ value, the
No,
maximum
what-
LEQ. yes.
No, I'm saying it will never the maximum level will never go over 45.
The LEQ.
No, I'm asking maximum level, because in the in the ad in the paper, I guess I won't win this argument, but it says the maximum level here, maximum noise level will be quieter than a library. So is that 40 or 45? Or is it 30, like reliability and direct? I mean, we can go with a 30, I mean, if you wanted to do that, because according to some of these other ones, we could go with these other decibel comparison charts, the library is only 30 decibels.
Continue on. These documents that I've read, do not provide sleep disturbance information for quiet rural environments. The World Health Organization guideline values for community noise in specific environments indicate sleep disturbance may be experienced at 30 LAEQ decibel. Inside, so sleep disturbance may be experienced at 30 LAEQ dB, time base 8 hours, LA max fast decibel 45 inside bedrooms. So, and to me, I think sleep disturbance that's probably something that would generate a lot of complaints if there's issues with sleep disturbance. So I just wanted to make that point, that I think that might be something we want to consider, is, what levels relate to that and how can they be mitigated.
Right.
The document recommends that wind turbines should be of similar design and appearance should not allow lettering, company insignia, advertising or graphics or any part on the tower hub or blades. The document